Alright guys, welcome back. It's good to be back, and in today's tutorial we are doing a simple social media design. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, let's get into the action proper. So first off, I'll be setting the width and height to 3000 by 3000 while I name our project Spicy Burger. So now we've successfully created that, and the first thing you want to do is open the check mark and draw a rectangle which will serve as our background color. Then quickly I'm going to change this. I'm going to be using yellow because we are working with a burger, so definitely you have to spice things up, give it a lively color that triggers a sense of hunger. You get me? So afterwards I'm going to draw another rectangle. I'm going to be creating a wall kind of, but first off you're going to make a selection by holding Ctrl T, and then you're going to click on the sort while you hold Shift. Then you're going to adjust the edges. I'm going to drag this down a bit. I'm going to adjust the other angle as well. I'm going to take this up. I'm going to adjust this to the side. Do the same for this as well. Sorry about that. So I'm done with that, so I'm just going to click on the check mark and I'm going to drag this to the side. I'm just going to fit it right there. So now I'm going to make a duplicate. You can do that using Command J, or you hold Alt while you drag. So I'm just going to use Alt while I drag to create a duplicate, just like this. Now that we've successfully created the duplicate, you're going to right click and flip horizontal, just like this, trying to move it to the other side. And we're going to drag as well. Make a couple of adjustments. Make sure both sides are aligned and they are equal. So now the next thing I'm doing is adding a gradient overlay, and in my previous video I showed you how you can create yours and save it, so you can always go back to it whenever you need it. But for those who do not know how, I'm going to show you how to do that again. These are a list of gradients that I have created. So for this design I want to use orange and yellow. So I'm going to pick a lighter orange and I'm going to mix it with yellow. So this is set to -90, so I'm just going to make it 90. Make the yellow on the other side. So I'm going to go back here and pick a more darker orange color. This is not dark enough, so I'm going to make more adjustments. I'm going to reduce the slider and drag it down till I get the perfect orange for our design. Okay, this works. So now I'm just going to click on OK. I'm going to go back to my other shape and do the same thing. Go back to gradient overlay. Automatically it's going to give you this, because this was the last color we used, and to save it you just click on new. See, it's already added, so you can use it whenever you want. So now I'm just going to click on OK. So yes, our wall background is complete. So the next thing we are doing is adding our burger. So I'm just going to head down to my files and pick our burger. This is a PNG, but not to worry, you can check the link below to get the resources for this video while you follow. So right about now I'm just going to drag this here, make a selection using Ctrl and T. So I'm going to drag this. If you see, I'm trying to make it slant, like the burger is resting on the wall. There's a little bit of texture that will not be needing, so I'm going to use my lasso tool to make a selection and just delete. But this is saved as a smart object, so first we have to rasterize and try that again. There, has been deleted, but I can still find a bit of it. So I'm just going to zoom in and repeat the same process with my lasso tool and click on delete. So finally it's gone. Alright, so that's settled. I'm just going to zoom out so we can make a couple of adjustments again. I'm going to increase the size of our burger because I'm trying to create two, one in front and one behind. So I'm just going to adjust this and make it bigger. And after that, I'm going to create a duplicate by holding Alt and dragging, or you use Command J. And if you check, this burger is behind our shape. So I'm going to take it and drop it on top of our shape. And I still want it to be behind the other burger, so I'm going to do the same thing and make it underneath the burger, just like that. So now I want it facing the other part. I'm going to select holding Ctrl T, right click and flip horizontal. So after flipping horizontal, the next thing we're doing is reducing the size. So the concept I'm trying to create here is like this burger is before the other one, you know, like this one is at the back, if you get the concept we're trying to create here. So now that our burgers are set, the next thing we will be doing is adding shadows. And first off, you create a new layer, clicking on that plus sign, create a new layer underneath the burger. You go to your brush tool and you drag this, make it slant a bit, and you increase the size, increase it again, increase it one more time. This is too big, so we're taking it back a bit. So now make sure your color is set to black. Mine is already set to black, so I'm just gonna click like that. So now I'm going to increase the size of the shadow. I'm going to adjust it. Okay, so we have successfully created our realistic shadow. So the next thing we're going to do is create a duplicate, because as you can see, the burger is also resting on the wall as well. So I'm going to create a duplicate using Alt and dragging. I'm going to make a selection and flip this. So I'm just going to drag it right there. So as you can see, we have two burgers, so I'm going to create a duplicate using Ctrl J or Alt and dragging. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other burger. So I'm going to reduce this shadow using Ctrl T, and I'm going to drag. I'm going to make an adjustment with my arrows. They're going to give this a nudge. So I'm going to copy this as well and drop it right here. But I feel like this is too bold, so I'm going to be reducing the opacity for all of the shadows that we've created. So I'm going to set this to 90, and I'm going to run it up for the rest of the shadows. If you're just tuning in, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you've made it this far, make sure you like and subscribe as well, and turn on post notifications to stay updated when a new video drops. So I'm just going to do the same process, reduce the opacity to 90 for all of the shadows that we've created. So all our shadows have been reduced, so now it's looking a lot more lighter. So the next thing we are doing is adding our text. So first off, I'm going to make the color white, and you can do that by clicking F 3 times. I'm going to click OK. So I'm going to be tagging this spicy burger. First off, I'm going to change the font to Montserrat. I like to use a clear font first before we start styling. So I'm just going to type in rather spicy burger. I'm going to increase the size. First we are doing spicy, So now that I have it clear, I'm going to select it and check for a stylish font that suits the concept of our design. So for this signature font to really show, I have to do this in lowercase. So I'm just going to do that again, just like that. I'm going to increase the size. I'm going to drag this up a bit. So now I'm going to input my border. And I'm going to change the font to something bold. I can go Montserrat again. So I'm just going to increase the size and also the weight of the font. I have to make it bold. So I'm going to head down to the properties. So I'm going to select semi bold, or now I'm going to pick black instead. This is a lot more bold. So the next thing we're doing is reducing the size. Don't forget you can get the resources used for this video in the link below. Check the description to get the link. So now for the spice, I'm going to be adding shadows. So you can easily go to blending options. So we are currently in blend options. So I'm going to increase the distance. So I'm just going to make a couple of adjustments here by reducing the opacity, increasing the distance, as well as the spread. So I'm just going to make a few more tweaks and hit OK. So as you can see, we've created a shadow. So I'm going to drag this spicy and place it on top of the burger. So now we can see what we've done so far. Let me zoom in so you can see the shadow. So I'm going to head back to my blending options. Let's head back to blending options and reduce the distance. Alright, so I'm just gonna click OK. So now I'm just going to zoom out so you can see what we've done so far. So the next thing we're going to be doing is adding our CTA. So first off, I'm going to draw an ellipse and make sure it's not too big, and you want to hold shift while you do, just to make sure your circle is straight. So I'm going to make this red. I'm going to add a white stroke. So I'm just going to add a white stroke now and increase the size. It's perfect this way. So my CTA would be order now. I'm going to make sure that's in capital letter. So I'm just going to input that right now. If you've come this far, please don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notification to stay updated when a new video drops. So I'm going to input that and try to zoom in. Like I said, this has to be in capital letters, so I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to make sure it's aligned at the center. And the next thing, I'm going to reduce the weight of the font because you don't want it taking all the attention. So after zooming out, I'm going to drag it inside the ellipse that we've created, and I'm going to increase the size. But if you notice, this is actually covering our shadows, So I'm going to select both of them holding shift. I'm going to reduce the size, and I'm going to find a better placement where it's not covering our shadows. So I'm just going to drop this here. I think it fits more in that position where it's not obstructing any of our elements. Yeah, so now that has been created, next thing we are going to do is add more spice to our design. Now just try to get people's attention and just trigger a sense of hunger. So I'm going to add another burger, a different one from the one we already have. So I'm just going to drag this and drop it right here. I'm going to make it slant as well, following the same trajectory of the previous ones that we've done. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to make this active and increase the size. Do that holding Ctrl T. So I'm going to click on my check mark, and if you notice, this is on top of the one in front, so I'm going to drag it down. Our city is messed up as well, so I'm going to adjust that. Let me reduce this a bit. That's too much. I'm just going to increase it. Drag my shadow and do the same for the one at the bottom. Okay. Now that that's sorted, I'm actually not feeling this font, so I'm going to be making some changes. Let's see. If you've come this far, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notification for more videos when they drop in real time. So I'm going to try this out. I'm going to do the same for the burger as well. I think I prefer this more. It just spices things up. So I'm going to be reducing the size. I'm going to turn off the shadows because we actually do not need that anymore since it's not a signature font. So I'm going to increase the size of the burger and drag this to the middle, and I'll do the same for spicy as well, but this time I'll be reducing the size and adjusting it just like that. So yeah, I think this is a lot more better than the one we had before. So I'm going to make a selection of both and reduce the size, and you can make selection of both by holding shift and selecting both of them, then Ctrl T and dragging. Yeah, so right about now I'm just going to take some moments. I'm going to take a moment just to analyze and see what else we can possibly add. Yeah, so I feel like we need to spice things up a bit, so I'll be adding one more element, just to trigger a sense of hunger for the target audience. So I'm going to be adding this pepper right here. I'm going to make sure it's above the burger and my layers. I'm going to reduce the size as well, and this is on the floor, so we'll need to add a shadow. I'm going to make a duplicate of the ones I already have just to maintain the consistency of the opacity, which already reduced to 90. But if you notice quite well, this pepper has a white highlight, which makes it kind of weird being on top of our shadows. So we are going to be fixing that, and you can do that easily by creating a clipping mask next to the pepper. in our layers. And yeah, like, not to worry, because like I said earlier, you can get the resources of this video. Just check the link in the description, and you can get the link while you practice yours. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I drop videos every week. Do well to turn on post notifications so you can stay updated when any video drops. So right about now, actually I created the mask on the wrong layer, so I'm going to click on our pepper and I'm going to create a mask. So I'm going to head over to our brush. Now that's wrong. Make sure your color is set to black actually. So I'm just going to brush this. I'm trying to brush out those white highlights. I'm going to brush this a little bit. That's too much, so I'm going to undo using Ctrl Z. I'm going to brush again till I feel it's smooth enough. Okay, I think that pretty much does it. Yeah, so this does it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is creating a duplicate. Yeah, a duplicate. So yeah, the next thing we are doing is creating a duplicate, and we can do that by clicking on Alt and dragging, or just using Ctrl J. I'm going to increase the size of this, make it a bit big, just like that. And I'm going to head over to filters. I'm going to go to blur, and we'll be using motion blur. So basically what you're adding here, the more you adjust the slider, the more you increase it, the more the blur effect becomes visible. Yeah, so I'm going to click OK. So as you can see, our blur effect is already in action, and as you can see, our pepper is already looking blur. So I'm just going to try and fit this on the edge. I'm going to create a duplicate, holding Alt and dragging, or Ctrl J, whichever one you please, you can make use of. So I'm actually creating for, well, now that I think about it, I think it's too crowded, so I'm just going to be sticking with two, one at the top right and one at the bottom left. So I'm going to reduce the size of this and just leave it at that. So I'm going to head over to motion blur. I'm doing this now on my shadows. I'm going to increase the size, and I'm going to create a mask next to it. I'm going to head over to gradient and make sure it's set to basic, black and white. Make sure your color is set to black. So I'm just going to fade the top of the shadow. Just going to fade this. Yeah, and I'm going to adjust it a bit. So I'm going to do the same for this one as well. I'm going to head over here, and I'm going to create a duplicate while I've already deleted the other one, obviously. So I'm just going to drag this. So as you can see, our shadow is looking a lot more better than it was. So I'm just going to adjust this a bit as well. So now, as you can see, our flyer is looking sharp. So I'm going to increase the opacity. It was originally set to 90, but now I'm going to make both 100. So yeah, there you have it. We have come to the end of this tutorial. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you can stay updated when a new video drops. I love you guys. Peace.